There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. So. All right. So. All right. Sounds like the sound's a tad bit grainy, but you can still hear me nonetheless. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to you. I'll let y'all come in there while everybody's coming in. And just so you know, we're in the process of moving. I'll give y'all a little bit more information on that. I just want to make sure everything's up on both platforms. And I'm going to go ahead and do some sharing. Also, let's see, share. How do I do this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, y'all. But I want to say shalom to y'all. I'm Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. To say Straitway, Florida is in its busy season is an understatement. I'll just put it to you like that. Okay? A lot going on. We are a good busy down here. You know what I'm saying? We are a good busy down here. We like the type of busy we are, but busy nonetheless. A lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff going on. Let me check this audio one more time. Say shalom to y'all. Okay. So yeah, just a lot going on. It's an exciting time. Okay, there we go. Yes, it's an exciting time. And it's a time like none other. As far as what I see the Most High doing in my life, in my wife's life, in my brothers and sisters' lives that are around me. I've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like what's happening in the world. Now, mind you, I haven't had time to really comb over the news, but what I do is I'm subscribed to Pastor Dow's Patreon, so I just check out those notifications I get because we've literally just been moving, doing a bunch of stuff down here. I'll go into that a little later because I got about 5 more minutes and then I'll start the lesson because I know I got started earlier. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to have any technical difficulties. Matter of fact, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to have any technical difficulties. So that's why I got in here when I did. And I see y'all slowly coming in. Somebody's over there on Facebook. Shalom LaShonda. Hey, just let me know how the audio is over there for you on Facebook. And then also whoever's on YouTube, somebody type something in, let me know how the audio is. I know it might not be 100, but if you can understand what I'm saying, that's going to be awesome. Okay? I'd appreciate that. All right, so let's see what we got here. But a lot going on, man, like never before. So like I said, I'm on Pastor Dow's Patreon, and he keeps us up to date on what's going on. And it's like when I say it's a time like never before, I'm sitting there on the Patreon and I'm looking and it's saying, man, they are disbanding the police in St. Louis. It's like, who would have ever thought, who ever heard of anything like that? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Let me see what they say. Okay, they said it's an 8, so that's awesome. Shalom, Brother Blake. Brother Blake said, bro, you got me reading Proverbs. I was just about to sit at the table and read Proverbs when the notification popped up. The Most High is dealing with me. Thank you, sir. I thank you for doing this critical work. One of the things I wanted to speak on about this book, the book of Proverbs, is like, for the things we're doing, man, you can't do what we're doing down here unless you are functionally. If you're if you have dysfunctional thinking, you can't do nothing. Me and my brothers and sisters down here in Straitway, Florida, we're under a mint, you know, with the stuff we got going down here. We're under you're in pressure situations. You're in situations where every little thing matters. You know what I'm saying? What we are beginning to do is count on some of these brothers and sisters. We're beginning to count on them with all of our heart, mind, soul. You know, we're putting everything. We're coming together like those 2 commandments said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. That's what I was thinking of. That's why I said that. And then love your brother as you love yourself. And we're literally walking that out in spirit when we labor with each other in deliverance and praying with each other and confessing our faults and seeking counsel and stuff like that. But now we've done that for a long time, and now it's actually beginning to become an outward manifestation where we're actually beginning to come together culturally and economically, lifestyle, literally beginning to come together. We desire to be around each other, you know? So it's really going down. And you can't get there unless you really putting that spiritual work in. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's see what y'all saying. All right, they said I'm clear over there. Shalom, Brother Edward. Good to see you there. Shalom, Brother Ray. Brother Ray. Okay. Yep. Shalom, Brother Ray. Good to see you there. All right. Let me go back over here. Okay. All right. So, yeah. I sold, and we're getting ready to get started here very shortly. I sold my household this week. We're moving out. Both of my rental properties sold. We'll be doing the closing on those later in a couple of weeks. All the saints that are here in Florida are moving into one of 2 houses. Three families over in one house, 3 in another. And so this week, literally, it was like a 6-way move. We moving all over the place. One of the brothers rented this big old Penske truck, and I mean, it's week of weeks. You know what I'm saying? It was intense, but the teamwork made it stress-free. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got selfless people. They count their self as less than their brother. So they actually put their brother ahead of themselves because they're selfless. When you got that mindset, things start happening. Okay? And that is the mindset that Straitway and Pastor Dow, I've seen them demonstrate, that Elder Rufus has talked to me about. And like, when me and my wife, we've been up to the land 3 times. I'm in my garage, so somebody walks up here, I'm gonna just hurt their feelings. But anyway, we went up to the land 3 times, and to actually see it and experience it is powerful, and that's what you see. That's what you experience. That's what you see when you actually meet Pastor Dow. Not just watch videos and form, watch 2 videos and then you form an opinion, but you actually get around the people. You actually do the due diligence, and see what they're about. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't know that we still using that pagan name, God and Lord, in our discussion. The thing is, brother Uriah Dharma, that whole discussion and debate about the name, because like I said, if we could get into all that, and I could go real deep into it, but I watch spirits respond to Jesus. I watch spirits respond to Yahusha HaMashiach. Okay? I watch spirits respond to all that. It's the thoughts and intents of your heart. So if I were you, I'd get out of that misleading distraction and really be about that action. Because I've watched spirits that people were possessed with respond to Jesus, God, and all that. Okay? That's big old facts. That's proof. Put a 100 up in there if y'all understand where I'm coming from with that. All right? That's what I'm talking about. We got to bang on this spirit world. One of the things I was speaking on is that the greater so-called Hebrew community, they get caught up in philosophy, in history, and just abstract concepts, and they miss the forest for the trees. At the end of the day, we got to get these spirits off people. All right? All right, I see y'all consistently coming in. That's awesome. Okay? Yeah, man. We over here, Spiritual Combat. I'm pulling up, y'all. I'm just pulling up my Bible verses, and we're gonna get started on this Proverbs chapter 8, verse by verse, play by play, scriptorial breakdown. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it cracking. Okay. I wish I had saved that Bible Gateway. Y'all say shalom to Sister Koya Israel. She has been an amazing Ashaya. You know what I'm saying? She be right by my side, thick or thin, getting it in, coming through big. We came up with a title for her. She's what we call Spiritual Combat Director of Administrative something. We got some type of title we get because I have her doing a lot of that stuff, man. I'm telling you, man, I have to do a video on. Shoot, I could do a whole documentary on this week. Okay? All right, let's pull this up. Bible. And we're going to get started with the Proverbs chapter 7 Bible study. Proverbs chapter 8, I'm sorry. And one of the things I want to point out with this, okay, where are you at? Okay, so one of the things I want to point out about what we're doing here, one of the significant things in Proverbs is constantly telling you over and over again, get wisdom, get understanding. Understand. Don't stay dumb. It's like get understanding, And now here we are in chapter 8 of Proverbs. And like I said, the first 6 chapters literally were talking about the benefits of wisdom. What is wisdom? All right. What is wisdom? Knowing the correct thing to do in situations in life. You know what I'm saying? That's if I could boil it down. That's how I would define it. I mean, while we've been on here, I've read some definitions to you. There we go. All right. So I've read some definitions to you. And like I said, because we are out of the studio, I'm not going to be able to do what I normally do and put it up on the screen. But I'll definitely be letting y'all know where I'm at in the Bible, what I'm reading, where I'm reading from, okay? If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely chime in. I'll definitely see them. And with that said, we're gonna get this thing rolling. I see y'all are waking up. Look like a lot of y'all wake up at 8. All right. So we're gonna get this thing going. Okay. All right. Let me make what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna make this bigger so I can see it. That's gonna work real good. All right. Okay, y'all. So this is the Proverbs chapter 8, verse by verse Bible study. And we're gonna start. It says, "Doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice?" Okay. Okay. And understanding put forth her voice. She standeth in the top of high places, by the way, in the places of the paths. Okay, so it says, "Doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice." If you're reading the Bible, it cries wisdom. It's to the point now where a lot of wisdom in the Bible is so alien to people. It's like they can't even make the connection on some of the stuff. That's why I feel reading the book of Proverbs is it's a good way to go, because it's really basic. It's not going to have you. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, that's why I said the book of Proverbs is very basic, and it explains stuff real basic. You get it. You know what I'm saying? It cries out. And even in this book, it cries out because, like I said, the first, how many books? 6 books of the book of Proverbs, it was just going in on, you got to get wisdom. You got to get understanding. If you don't get understanding, like, you're not going to know how to move through this life. And it's just pleading with you. And now here we are in book 8. Because book 7 was telling you even harder to get wisdom. Now book 8 is literally 100% committed to just talking about wisdom. Wisdom, and understanding. And the law is wisdom on how to live your life out. And like I was talking to a brother and a sister yesterday, just telling them how once you realize the way you got to go, then the next thing you run into is here, the blockage here. And that's where deliverance come in. That's where getting the spirit comes in. That's where all those tools and all that stuff comes in to make this thing happen. But what this book's going to show you is how imperative the book of Proverbs showed you how imperative it is to have your biblical map when you're navigating through the minefield of life. Proverbs paints a clear picture of why it's so important to have that biblical roadmap. See what I'm saying? All right. So let's see. All right. So we're going to press forward. It says, she standeth at the top of high places by the way in the places of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. So he's talking to the men, literally. Not the women, mainly the men. And I say it all the time, man. The men got to get their minds right. The men are the head. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to get this nation going in the right direction. It's up to us to be men of our words, to be about this action and not be selfish and oh, well, I don't want to do that and I don't see the benefit in getting my mind right. Well, as we go through Proverbs, you're going to see that it's imperative that you get your mind right. All right. It says, O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. This is a big verse right here, okay? Because if I ask you, what do you think a fool is? A lot of people would say, and y'all bear with me, I'm doing something that's, because I want to, we're going to have to park here for a second on this verse. Because a lot of people don't understand what a fool is, okay? But we're going to get into it. All right. Now, hold on. That was 5. Okay. So what it says is, O ye simple, understand wisdom. Okay, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. So you who don't have understanding, how do you know if you're a fool? Because you make dumb moves. Okay, all right. So, what do I mean make dumb moves? In the minefield of life, the decisions you make are bad decisions. How do you know they're bad decisions? Because of the results you get. See, that's the thing. When you read through the book of Proverbs, what you begin to see, you begin to realize the reason why people are in the predicaments they're in is because it's the sum total of their decision making, the choices they've made. The one common denominator in every problem in your life is you. Right? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. So what it's saying here is, O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Listen, way back when, this is back when I was 18 years old, right after I was in the military I had been in the military about a year and a half, maybe 2 years max. And I was like beginning to embark on my job. I was running into issues, social issues, whatever you want to call them, in the military. And I knew I didn't know, but it wasn't the time. This is way back in 1995, 1996, maybe 97. And I was seeking Yah. But apparently not hard enough. And the Most High didn't see fit as it to be my time yet. But I was trying to study Proverbs and praying for the wisdom and to make the right decisions and all that. And then it was just the backsliding thing. I didn't have the whole truth, you know. But even way back then, I was seeking him for this, you know. Not with all my heart, mind, and soul. But later in my life, I would, okay? Okay. But it says, and the reason why I'm pressing in on this real hard, which is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 5, it says, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. A fool is somebody who just doesn't listen. And you're going to see that get defined by Proverbs on its own, you know. So it says, hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness, and righteousness is lawfulness according to Yah's law, statutes, commandments, this, that, and other. One of the things that I say is like, the book of Proverbs is like a microscopic breakdown. It breaks Torah down into microscopic pieces. It breaks the law, statutes, and commandments into microscopic pieces. Where it says, love your brothers, you love yourself, this actually shows you how to do it. It actually shows you how to be the type of person where you're not a burden to your brother, okay? All right. There is nothing froward. It says, all the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. And what does froward mean? Difficult to deal with, contrary. And just like I've been telling you with the book of Proverbs, man, it's a straightforward book. It's 100. There ain't no wiggle room on it. You ain't gonna have a hard time trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just the thing you're gonna be wrestling with is in between your ears. That's where you're gonna be, where the wrestling's gonna come in at. Fighting them spirits that are in you in certain areas of your personality, you know? All right. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. Okay? So it says, receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. I don't, Michael Israel, like, I'm just break some stuff down on that one. I move, my footwork is ordered by book, not by filthy lucre, not by mammonism. Like, I don't make my moves based on money and how it's going to work out in the financial aspect. I don't make my money that way. I don't move that way. I don't make my money that way. I don't make my decisions based on economic profit. I don't, I'm not going to say it on here. Maybe eventually I'll put it out, but I could show you things I've done financially, economically speaking. As far as for my livelihood speaking, it does not make sense on paper, but it makes sense according to book. It makes sense according to loving my brothers, I love myself. So it says, receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Okay? It says, for wisdom is better than rubies. Now check this out. We're going to get all the meat off the bone on Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11. It says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. They're not to be compared to wisdom. You can't put nothing on it. So what are they talking about? When you see people pursuing careers, pursuing money, pursuing, financial well-being, that's what it's talking about. The rubies is nothing to be compared to wisdom. Michael Israel, how can you say that? How many of these rich people do you see who are miserable? They feel empty. They get the financial so-called independence, and they're unfulfilled. They're miserable. You seen the story? People overwork themselves and die early. People, at my job, we got this thing, like, I could become, if I wanted to, where I work at, I could become a traveling ACM. That's traveling aircraft maintenance technician. If I wanted to, I could become that. I can make doctors money doing it. Okay? Quick. The way it works, if I decide to become a traveling ACM, I'd sign up. They'd fly me out to Japan. And what I'd do, I'd be on a base at Japan. When the call comes in, they'd put me on a plane, fly me out to an aircraft carrier. I'd land on an aircraft carrier, get off the aircraft carrier, and be stationed on that aircraft carrier out at sea for like a couple months, fixing all their complicated maintenance airplanes out there. I could do that. Guess what? I'd be working on Shabbat. I wouldn't be in my house. I wouldn't be around my family for months on end. But I'd make that paper. So look, so I knew a guy who did that, and he was telling me how much money he made and all this stuff like that, and how he worked. Cause like he'd fly out to an aircraft carrier out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, be out there, that aircraft, while he's fixing the planes, the aircraft carrier, man, that thing be sailing in the Middle East all over the place. He'd get all the planes fixed, then fly them back to land. Then he'd go out and do it again. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, dang. And I was like, how much you make each time you're out there? And he's telling me, man, oh, okay. And I was like, you said you were married? And I was like, you said you're married? He's like, well, I was. He was like, after he went through the divorce, man, she wiped damn near all that money out. He spent it fighting her. He spent most of the money up fighting her. Ain't got too much to show for it. So, and that's just like a magnified example, but it goes back to that scripture. I see a lot of people do this because it says, the book, Yah's word says, don't forsake the assembling. Don't forsake the assembling together of yourselves with one another. I know I'm not quoting it perfectly. It says, as is the manner of some. A lot of people don't put that much importance on getting around their brothers and sisters. But see, here in Straitway, Florida, we've had our second family move out here to Jacksonville. Literally 3 weeks ago, it hasn't even been 3 weeks yet. I told a brother, what you need to do is get a job out here and move out here. 2 weeks later, we moving them out here. You see what I'm saying? Another family in Georgia moved out here, to be to be around the saints, to be around like-minded people. They get it. They see it. They're not, they understand that's wisdom. It says, for wisdom is better than rubies. What? Having the biblical roadmap to the minefield of life is better than money. Okay? Y'all put a 100 up in there if y'all understand what I'm saying. Hopefully I'm not talking around in circles. I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to keep it 1,000 with y'all. So y'all put a 100 up in there if y'all understand where old Michael Israel's coming from. All right? Okay. Let's see what else we got. We're going to move forward. It says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Okay. And we're going to define that word prudent. Okay. And wisdom is a spirit. I'm not going to get into it. I'm sure Pastor Dow has a message on it. But it's the 7 spirits of Yah, the 7 spirits, because I'd have to put together all my notes to do a lesson on that. But it said the quality, I hate when it does that. I should have, instead of prudence, I should have put prudent. All right. I hate when I do that and put it like that. All right, there we go. There we go. Prudent, acting with or showing care and thought for the future. An unwise person isn't prudent. They don't think about the future. A fool is not prudent. They don't show care and think about the future. Okay? All right. Let's see what we got. All right, we got that. Here, okay. There we go. All right, so that's prudent. Yeah, I see y'all getting it. Y'all getting it. Yeah, we've had. Like people are not. The serious-minded brothers and sisters down here, man, they're not putting career, money, women, nothing. We got two brothers down here who've left women, divorced, to be a part of this truth, to be with this thing, And it's these are some serious-minded people, getting and they understand what it is, what it's about. Okay? So look. It says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Okay? And that is 8. Let me see something real quick. Okay. What is that? That is verse 12. All right. I'm reading it in an amplified and in the English standard. This is the English standard. So it says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. Okay? And then the amplified is, for skillful and godly wisdom is better than rubies or pearls. Okay? And all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, make prudence my dwelling, and I find out knowledge and discretion. I didn't read that one. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. Okay. So it's just find ways, smart ways of doing stuff. Okay? Like, oh, okay, you did it that way. Okay, that's wise, that's smart, The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance. It says arrogancy, so I just say arrogance. And the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. And what I say froward means, let's read that definition of a froward mouth is of a person difficult to deal with, contrary mouth. So people who speak vague ambiguity and have vague, tricky, manipulative talk, That's what it's talking about. Okay? People who come straight, like a lot of people, this is what I run into a lot when people come and ask me about Pastor Dow. A lot of people don't get Pastor Dow. Well, if you like, this the way I am, I've dealt with so many froward people, contrary, difficult to deal with, guile speaking, manipulative, vague type of people. So I've dealt with so many of those types of people, and you run into them so often, eventually you just want somebody going to shoot straight. Just tell me what it is, man. Don't play games with me. Forget my damn feelings. What is it? You see what I'm saying? And that's how I am. It's straight down the middle. It is what it is style. Okay? And that's why Straitway has such serious-minded believers and followers and everything, because people are fed up with all the BS. Some people like to be BS. But, there's a small group of us who don't. We're about that action. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So let's see. Let's read that in one of the other versions, okay? Because it says, what was I reading? The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance. And see, pride, that is huge. Where people, or arrogant, being arrogant, that's another one. You know what I'm saying? Pride and arrogant are pretty much, let's define arrogant, okay? Is having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. Exaggerated. Now, if you say, hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it's big old facts, that ain't arrogant. You just saying what you do. But what is exaggerated, you see what I'm saying? People don't get that though. Because what happens, a lot of prideful people, if you're letting them know you do something that they don't, they get jealous. It's in the Hebrew community. You see it all the time. Like Pastor Dow was like, hey, I'm doing this. We're doing that. Our community got this. Our communities have done that. I've done this. I've done that. I went out there. I did. I'm saying I went out there because Pastor Dow said he did all this, and I went, I looked. He did do all that. That's big old facts. People in the Hebrew community, so-called Hebrew community, oh, why is God brag? Why is God brag? Why is he being arrogant? Not. It ain't arrogant if you just stating it. He's not exaggerating it. He just stating fact. So you can bear witness to the fruit. I'm telling you. But it's this is kind of complex, next level, biblical, human discernment type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to discern, is that person who's saying, why you got to say all that? Why is he bragging? Like, are they jealous? Do they have pride? Or is this person being arrogant? You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole dynamic going on there. But when you're grounded in this book, you could discern stuff, man. All right, hold on. This is my herbal. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Quick spiritual combat intermission. Something that's awesome. When we were doing all this moving, I'm talking about I was getting up. One of the days I got up 7 o'clock in the morning, worked in the heat, worked up in my attic, driving around doing all this work, worked all day, then went to, I was drenched in sweat, then went to work, worked all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning, okay? Got off work, came home, went to bed, rinsed, repeated it again. And listen, only ate one meal that whole day because I was taking these herbs and stuff like that. So all that to say, and I'm educating myself on all this stuff, but educating and experimenting. But like I said, the nutritional density of some of the stuff I've been taking, and like I watched a lot of Yaki's stuff that he's been putting out, all this stuff like that, but just learning about Yah's way and all that stuff like that on how to provide myself with nutrients, and like my joints ain't hurt no more, all this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I went 2 or 3 days straight of laborious work, and my back actually hurt a little bit this morning when I woke up, but for the most part, man, my energy been on point, and it's amazing because I'm only eating one meal a day doing it, but the energy's good, And I'm still learning though. I'm still learning about all this stuff, but you'll see me coming forth with that soon once I know something for real about it. All right, so let's get back to it. Let's get back on topic. So arrogant. Pride. Let me tell you a sign if you got pride. You know all the time. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You think you got a better way, somebody tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm to a point, when you get to this age, when you get to my age, or I don't even think it got nothing to do with age. I'm at a point where I'm actually looking for somebody to tell me something, and I'll be like begging for somebody to tell me something, give me some direction, I come up with an idea, everybody, oh yeah, that is a good idea. I'm like, it can't be. It got to be something wrong with it, Tell me something wrong, So yeah, that's real talk. Okay. But I'm also thankful I got a lot of wise counsel around me also. So, all right, let's continue forward. So, talked about wisdom dwell with the permanent. Let me see where we're at. Yep, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Let's say this too. It's literally telling you what evil is. Evil is pride. Evil is arrogancy. And the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. That is what evil is. And if you think about it, that is always what causes things to not work out of those types of spirit. All right. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me, and it's talking about by the spirit of wisdom, kings reign and princes decree justice. By my precious rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold. Again, it's telling you to walk according to wisdom, to walk according to Yah's way, to walk according to Yah's law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? It's better than gold. So don't get that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people can't see through that one right there. Okay? Hold on one sec. A lot of people can't see through that. They can't see through that. They can't see through it. They can't see through walking through all that stuff. They locked on the riches. And it says at the end, like I was talking to a brother and sister yesterday, I said, there's only two ways, the way of good, the way of evil. Here in America, you got the Most High Yah's way, and there's only one other way that's going to drive you, and that's serving mammon. And it said you can't serve Yah and mammon. That's what this scripture's saying. is big old fat facts. Big old facts. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you start dealing with people and you see it's a spirit of greed or it's a spirit of mammonism or something going on there. That's holding them back. All right. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. He's telling you. And I can't even articulate it better than that. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment. Okay? Let's do this. All right? There we go. All right. All seen the Yahuwah, the Yahweh, yep, most high forever. All praises. That's right. All right. It says, the Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. Okay? All right. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. Okay? I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth. So it's talking about wisdom. That's why I was reading like that. It says, while as yet he, I think is talking about the Most High there, had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he was set a compass upon the face of the depth. Okay? When he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the foundations of the deep, when he gave the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the fountains of the earth. Then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. Rejoicing in the rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delight was with the sons of men. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. Waiting what? For wisdom and understanding. Study this book. It's saying study Yah's word. That's all. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. Okay? Oof. That was 1,000, wasn't it? You know. All right. Let me see, y'all. Let me check my... okay. I think what we are going to do, we're going to go in the... we're going to go into chapter 9. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely get with me. Okay? All right. Put it, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, just put it right there in the comments, in the chat, or whatever. I will definitely get to it and address it. So what we're going to do, though, we're going to do a double header today. We're going to hit Proverbs 9 also, okay? And again, it continues. Okay? So we're going to start Proverbs chapter 9. It says, wisdom have builded, and I'm not saying build it because I know it's built, but wisdom hath built her house. But it's in Old English. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the high places of the city. Again, this chapter 9 is, you see, the Bible can't yell at you, but this is how it yells at you. It says the same thing over and over and over again. Okay? This is how it really stresses a point. Whoso is simple, let him turn hither. How are you going to know if you're simple? You got to be humble. Then you'll know if you're simple. You know, a prideful person don't think they simple. They think they know, they good, they got it, they on it. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, come, eat of my bread, drink of the wine which I have mingled. So what it's saying is wisdom is given out if you want it. It's there. Forsake the foolish and live. It's saying don't be around. And again, y'all listen to me because I keep saying this. As we go through Proverbs, like the further you go into it, it talks about fools more and how to deal with them. And I'm telling you, y'all, it's gonna, because I gotta point it out, but you're gonna see where your issues come from. Like some people come into this truth, and because they're dealing with fools, it makes their life burdensome, and they can't, but I'm not going to get ahead of the book, but just understand, it says, forsake the foolish. Forsake those who don't desire the correct way of doing stuff, who don't want to be about this action. Otherwise, look, and listen what it says, forsake the foolish and live. And go in the way of understanding. And listen, y'all, I'm telling you, you see all this? I know y'all thought those were platinum highlights. I know y'all thought Michael Israel would be styling and profiling. That's why I got the gray. And then you see a line of black here and all that. No, that's gray hair from stress. because I didn't do what the book said. I didn't forsake fools. Now, see, you after you done got this many gray hairs and been through as much crap as I've been through, like you be looking at, you got a spiritual telescope, a spiritual binocular, seeing a fool way out in the distance, so you can forsake him. You ain't no respect of person, place, thing, title. Oh, well, that's my this. Well, they're my this. No. Dude, if you gonna be foolish, heck no. Because it's like, I'm 43 years old, man. I don't need it in my life. I don't need no more stress. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I'm trying to reverse all the stress, the damage is done to me now. It's book. And this, the new thing it introduced. It said, forsake the foolish and live. And what you're going to begin to see moving forward in the book of Proverbs is going to start hitting that drum. Because it done already, every single chapter been banging on getting wisdom and understanding and knowing how to do stuff. Man, it been banging on that thing. Now it's getting ready to bang on, don't deal with fools. If you discern that they fools, boom. Because it said, and live. That's book. All right, somebody said, my grades reflect wisdom, but I feel you, my brother. Pastor Johnson in the building. Hey, shalom, Pastor Johnson. Good to see you, man. You know the Hebrew gatherings next week, man. I hope you coming up here to Jacksonville. Pastor Johnson, you know you've been through it too. Don't even lie. You know you've been through this thing. Hey, you know, I know you've been through it. Yeah. Hey, when you get our age, you done made plenty of bad decisions, but you've learned from them. Cause I met you, I seen where you at, man. I can hear it in your voice when you talk. You got wisdom. You slow to speak. You listen. You thinking before you talk. Hey, there you go. Yeah, that's Pastor Johnson down there. Good brother. Wise brother, you know. I learned a lot just watching him that he's I kind of watch his show from time to time just because one of the things I'm doing is just really, and it's something that I kind of, you know, being up there, it really, when I was going up to Straitway for the Feast of Pentecost, you know, we were getting close to the land. As we were getting real close to it, I said, y'all deal with me here. I was like, show me. I basically telling y'all, hey, help me get something out of this. And get something I did. You know, and one of the things I learned is I got to be more, I got to be straightforward. You know, I got to be, I got to think my moves out. I got to use wisdom when I move because a lot of people follow me. I can't just be on social media, this, that, and other, blurting things out. You know, I'm still growing in it. I'm still developing. You know, I'm a work in progress. But yeah, man, so. All right. All right, so let's keep moving forward. Forsake the foolish and live. Go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. Y'all, this is heavy. This is heavy. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down in these other versions I got. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. And he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke or correct a wise man, and he will love thee. Listen, y'all, like this right here, listen, highlight Proverbs chapter 9, verse 7 and 8. And because we're gonna park it here for a while, because this was a big one for me. It's a big one that I see a lot of out there. Okay, so all right, hold on. All right, Proverbs. Let's see. Boom. Okay, Proverbs. It says Proverbs chapter 9, verse 8. So let me go. I'm going to get to that in my other more watered down versions. And I only do this, the only time I do this is with the book of Proverbs, where I will actually go into like an English Standard Version. Proverbs. All right, Proverbs chapter 9. Okay. Let me see what this Amplified says. Okay. Because we need to really park it here. This is a big one. Right? Dang, it don't say nothing. But we're going to just read them both. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate you. Man, that sounds like KJV. Okay. lest he hate you, reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a righteous man one upright and in right standings with God, and he will increase in learning. All right. This one, it says, do not reprove a scoffer, or he will hate you. Reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Okay? Whoever, and this is verse 7, it says, whoever corrects a scoffer gets himself abuse. So, let's check this out. We're going to sit here for a minute, okay? Because I think this is one of the social dynamics concerning this book that I see happen the most. Someone who jeers or mocks or treats something with contempt or calls out in derision, that's what a scoffer is. Someone who jeers, mocks, or treats something with, contempt. Now look, it said don't correct them if they're about that. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on. Look, y'all, y'all gonna keep y'all hair black if you black folks, whatever color your hair is. You're gonna keep it that color if you listen to what I'm trying to, because this is big. It says contempt, the feeling that a person or thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. You understand what I'm saying? So let's read it in the KJV again so we can properly articulate it. It says, he that reproveth a scorner or a scoffer. Let's put up scorn, okay? We're going to pull scorn up and properly, we're going to get all the meat off the bone. And I listened to Pastor Corey, and I got that mechanical Bible, but it's packed up. It's in one of the boxes. Because I pull it in there too. We pull it in the Hebrew. It says the feeling or belief that someone or something is worthless or despicable, contempt. It's the exact same thing I just said. So you listen, I'm telling you, this is big on what this is saying here. And it's crazy that nobody even brings this out. Okay? I'm going to read it again, then I'm going to put it into my own simple words. It said, we're going to read Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6, 7, and 8. You should highlight that because, y'all, it's going to bring so much peace and contentment and pleasure into your life. It might not bring it initially. You see what I'm saying? But y'all, you got to, I'm just booking this thing with big old fat juicy facts of truth. I'm telling you. Check this out. Look. It says, forsake, I'm going to read this whole thing in context so you get it. Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuke a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Okay, let me sum up what it's saying. If you contending with somebody and it's just back and forth and they just, like, you discern that it's just, they ain't getting it, and it, well, let me show them this, well, let me show them that. And then the next thing you know, now you feel it all up in your chest. Like you feel the stress and the strain and the burdensomeness on yourself. It's because you are in sin. Like you're going against what the book says. One of the things you might have, if for those people who are around me, they've heard me say it. I say it all the time, but for those people who watch my show, you might hear me say it. I sum it up like this: tell them once, tell them twice, keep it moving. Like you should, if you are getting in arguments with friends, family, co-workers, random people, if you're getting in an argument with people about this book, it's you. It ain't them. Because that's what these scriptures are sitting here telling you. Anybody who has contempt for this, or they, oh no, well that's off, well this, well that, and you gotta, that ain't your job. Like when people, and I'm even learning it, I'm perfecting this, what I'm saying, I'm perfecting it even sharper because it's so brutally effective. Don't chase people to get this. Because when they get this, you can't keep them away. They will do whatever they need to become a part of it. You understand? Y'all put a 100 if you understand what I'm saying. Because I have to make sure you understand that. Because I watch so many people get distracted and bring undue stress into their life, just racking their brain with people who were not meant to get it. I'm telling you, that's big old fat juicy facts, y'all. All right. So let me make sure y'all ain't got any. Wisdom was Yah's way before the earth was created. Torah was there before the creation. Right. Shabbat Shalom, saints. That's Koya. She's just saying Shabbat Shalom to y'all over there on Facebook. All right. All right. Y'all get it. I see y'all get it. All right. I'm just keeping it basic so that, you know, and I've honed it. I'm perfecting it more and more and more and more. I'm you know, somebody might ask me, you know, for some verses or show a little interest. I give them what they want, you know, but it helps because I've seen the people who get it, and it looks undeniable. Like it's a certain way. Then there's everybody else, you know. And it's like, shoot, hey, you know. But on the same note, be ready to give an answer in season or out of season according to wisdom. But if it's going to be a debate, like the dude came in there, you know, at the beginning of this, hey, his name is are you still what was the guy's statement at the beginning? He said, I didn't know that we still using that pagan name, God, Lord, this, that, and other, but we're trying to meet a lot of people where they're at, you know. And I'm telling you, I've watched debates. I've been on the name doctrine or this, that, and the other. And it's like, you know, I could go all into that one. I'm not. We're going to keep it moving. All right, so let's keep going. It says, give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? So when people are fools, they ain't wise. You see what I'm saying? When people are fools, they don't fear Yah. See, people, and that's how you get through all these people who talk a good game, but they're difficult to deal with. The way you cut through all that is, hey, you are unwise, so you don't fear Yah. It's like, because it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Holy is set apart, all right? For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. Okay? If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. Okay? We went through scorn. If you got contempt, what did it say? Let's hit that there. All right? All right, scorn. It says the feeling or belief that someone or something is worthless, okay, or despicable or contempt, okay? And then we looked up that word contempt, and contempt is the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, deserving scorn. So just basically referring you back and forth to the same stuff. So these people who whether they in the world or they so-called in the truth, but they ain't really doing it. They're not really developing spiritually. They just low moral character. They have no character. They are characters and all this stuff like that. They're scorners. They're scorners to the word. And it tells you, don't deal with them if you don't see it. It says, if thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, so if you ain't going to seek out what this book saying to do and move that way, thou alone shalt bear it. You're going to see the results in your life. You're going to feel that thing. You know what I'm saying? Brother Tony, he's one of the brothers down here. He told me this saying that his mother would say. He's from the Caribbean. He said, either listen now or feel it later, or something like that. Like, if you don't listen to what I say now, you'll feel it later. Okay? All right, now we're going to get into the women. Uh-oh. It ain't me. This book. 13. This is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13. We already made it through 8. We in 9, chapter 13. Now, it's now... What you're doing, Proverbs is beginning to go in on specific life situations and things, big stuff, okay? It says, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing, okay? What's clamorous? Huh? What's clamorous? Making a loud and confused noise, expressing or characterized by vehement protest or demands. This is basically your so-called independent women. You have these strong-willed, I'm a strong woman. They say they're strong, independent women. They are foolish women. Because as we read further in the Proverbs, and then when we conclude with a Proverbs 31 woman, if you've ever heard that, it's talking about the righteous biblical woman. It lays out her traits. Proverbs 31 woman. Basically, she's a hardworking woman in her house and for her house. So she works in the house and she works hard at it on keeping her home up and going. Okay? The family. Okay? That's the characteristics and traits. Literally, Koya she is grown and is growing into that. When I sell these properties, when I buy these properties or we find properties, whatever, she handles all that. I say, all right, let's get that one, boom. Or I'm like, all right, that one looks good, and she does it. Literally, Proverbs 31. We're not saying we the perfect, leave it to beaver, holier than thou couple. We're growing to it, though. We understand the mark we're pressing towards. We see the wisdom in it. You understand? But it says a foolish woman is clamorous. So these are them big mouths. Whatever. What? Ain't no man telling me nothing. This, that, them big mouth monsters that's out there. They're in the so-called Hebrew Israelite movement also. And it says that's how you know a foolish, or as you're going to begin to see it get defined. That word fool and foolish really means stubborn. It says a foolish woman is clamorous. So she's argumentative. She always going back and forth, and she digs her heels and can't get her to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go in though. I ain't gotta elaborate. I'm gonna let the book talk. Yeah, somebody clarified that saying that I was trying to say that my brother Tony told me. He who doesn't hear will feel. Okay? A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Okay? For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him hear it hither. So it says, and as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Okay? Let's get the meat off the bone on what we just read here. Let's tie this whole thing in. With spiritual combat, I have done, and I still do a lot of relationship counsel on stuff. And like Pastor Dallas said, he said the Bible does not warn women about men. It doesn't. But all through the Bible, it's always warning men about women. So when you read through this, and that is the end of Proverbs chapter 9, but when you read through this, it just put out its first piece of wisdom. When you read Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13, all the way to the end, read it in its context, it put out its first chunk of wisdom regarding dealing with these women and preparing you to know a Proverbs 31 woman or be able to spot a righteous biblical woman as compared to an unrighteous woman. And it's telling you, you choose that type of woman is going to lead to death. You choose a big mouth, stubborn woman, not grounded in truth, it could kill you. And like I said, I'm not telling you about something that makes conceptual sense. I'm telling you stuff I've experienced. I've watched the worst case scenario war stories with men choosing the wrong woman. Okay? I've known the people who've committed suicide, and I've seen it. Okay? It's big old facts. So, So that's real. So it do the first chunk out there, man, to save you a ton. All right, let me see. What do you mean, Shemuel? You said sounds like adultery. All right, so let me read through it again. It says that foolish woman. So it's defining. And as you read through Proverbs, it really shows you in a comparison. When you read, it shows how a foolish woman behaves, and the whole book concludes with how a righteous woman behaves. Okay? I think I'm going to do y'all a favor. I'm going to just read through a little bit of it. Okay? Because it drops some jewels in Proverbs 31. So it says, a foolish woman is clamorous. So she's argumentative. She's not. The Bible says a quiet, shamefaced woman is a double grace. Okay? When you go into Sirach, otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, that book is Proverbs, this book here, on steroids. It further reiterates everything this book says here. Okay? And it comes even harder on discerning a righteous woman versus an unrighteous woman. Foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Okay? Let's do this. We're going to read it in the watered down one too. That particular verse. Okay? And what was that? 13? All right. A woman folly is loud. She is seductive and knows nothing. All right, that is 13. And that's the type of woman a lot of dudes fall for, is the seductive ones, dressed a certain way, seducing them, tricking them into her trap. The foolish woman is noisy. She is simple and open to all forms of evil. She willfully and recklessly knows nothing whatever of eternal value. So it just kind of went in a little further and elaborated. It's all the same stuff, man. And on what that amplified version just said, as we read further in the Proverbs, it's going to really get in after that thing. Oh, okay. And like I said, man, a lot of the burden with all the way a lot of men get. All right, we're gonna do it. Wow, this is good because it's perfect on what I was getting ready to say. This is gonna help y'all out. What we're gonna do, what I want y'all to do, is real fast. What time is it? Okay, I got time. Okay, where are you at? Hit that. Come on. Where are you at? Are you there? All right. Proverbs. All right, what we're going to do is go to the last book of Proverbs, Proverbs 31. And we're going to read a little. We might go all the way through it or whatever. You can. But the writing of this is King Lemuel's mother. So this is a woman writing to him about the traits and qualities of a woman, of a biblical righteous woman. And what is written here is the qualities of Sarah. It's in the Old Testament. We can book anything that's said here in Torah, in the New Testament, anywhere. We could book this, okay? So we're going to read, when you hear people say a Proverbs 31 woman, this is what they're talking about, all right? Advice on women. It says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Listen, y'all. Give not thy strength unto women. The first thing out her mouth. Give not thy strength unto women. Okay? What it's saying there is, it's saying don't give your heart and emotion. This is what we're taught to do here in America. We're taught love is giving your whole heart over to women. Hold on one sec, y'all. All right. That's what we're taught here. Okay? And this is why you got so much destruction in there we go. Hold on one sec, y'all. Okay. Yeah, this is why you have so much destruction concerning relationships and people giving their heart over. Now they can't think straight. Then they put the woman over the law of Yah. And then when a woman is like that, the foolish woman, she is clamorous and all that, and she's that type of woman, the man is giving so much of his power or his heart over to her, he can't even leave her. He can't leave her. He makes excuses and deceives himself in this thing with a monster. And not just saying to leave her, but he won't even stand up to her and correct her because what? He's given his power over to her. And she hates it. But that's a whole nother lesson. Listen, it says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. Excuse me. O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes to strong drink. So she's just giving him advice on life. Y'all need to read it for yourself if you haven't read this, because eventually I'm going to get to this and I'm going to meticulously go through it verse by verse. It says, chapter 12, she will do him good and not evil. Hold on one second. Okay, here it is. Chapter 10, verse 10, because I'm skipping around a little bit. But look, listen, because this is the good stuff. Proverbs 31, chapter 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? Okay, let's hit it in the cookies and cream watered down version and see what they bring. Because I got to be careful going to these versions when it starts talking about women, because sometimes they will dip that stuff in too much sugar. But we're gonna get it. So just bear with it. All right, it's going too slow. Okay, hold on. All right. So we're going to hit, like I said, Proverbs 31. We got time, so we good, y'all. Proverbs 31. It says, and it's beautiful what they put here. It says, an excellent wife who can find. That's what it says. You know, so these you know, it's saying a righteous wife ought to find. So that's why the divorce rate is monstrous. That's why when you tell a woman to be a quiet, shamefaced woman, you know, a lot of times, man, you will see, you know, there is an agenda to make women big mouth, monster, your opinion matters. Listen to this. Chapter 10, a capable, intelligent, and virtuous woman, who is he who can find her? Okay, so now, again, I don't like that version. Because I know with a virtuous woman, as you read through this, they go in on it. But they trying to water that junk down too much. That's why, like I said, I'm very careful. Like when we get to Proverbs 31, I'm a book anything I need to elaborate on, because a lot of these watered down versions of the Bible try to, they cater to feminism and all that. So you got to be careful with it. But we're going to precept this when a lot of this stuff pertaining to women in this book when we get to it. All right. But let's read through. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And this is also a hard-working woman. A woman who's not lazy. You know what I'm saying? She get after it. She go hard in the paint. And she's obedient to her husband. Now, most of these women out here today, they say, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. I do what Master Charlie said. You know what I'm saying? But they don't need no man. But Master Charlie, their husband. This mammonism and the God of mammonism is their daddy, is their God, who they worship, who they're obedient to, who they're submissive to. The welfare system is their daddy. And what do they tell him? What does Master Charlie say? You work for me, and I give you these, like Pastor Dow say, these Federal Reserve notes, and you kill your kids. I don't want you having no children. You kill your children with abortion, and you make me rich. And they be like, yes, boss. And if you want me to do anything else, I'll do that too, Master Charlie. And that's literally what the deception that is going on today. Okay, so let's keep reading. The heart of her husband do safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. What's good? Righteous, lawfulness. You see what I'm saying? She's going to be obedient. She's going to do what the book says. Like if a woman loves Yah, she's going to be obedient to her husband. This basic book stuff. We're going to get that, whenever I actually make it to this chapter. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. So she knows how to, like, Koya. She's a good example. She is, man, in the past couple, like, since we got with Straitway, it's accelerated, but she is that Proverbs 31 woman. She's attaining that. She's moving towards it. I'm working and moving towards being a righteous biblical man. I'm growing. But Koya knows how to sew. She knows how to cook. Her thing right now is these daggone plants, though. And after she went up the Straitway and that woman gave her that tour of that big old garden they got, she done went plant crazy. And that's a good thing. She about them herbs. She's capable. You see what I'm saying? And then she's my administrator. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also whole it is yet night. So she gets up early and giveth meat to her household. She cooks. She provides, you see what I'm saying? A portion of her maidens. She considereth the field and buy it. You see what I'm saying? With the fruit of her hand she planteth the vineyard. You see? She girdeth her loins with strength and strengthen her arms. So she not this lazy monster watching Oprah all day, eating ho-hos and ding-dongs, and just, you know what I'm saying? She get after it. She go hard in the paint. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. Are you beginning to see a consistent pattern? The Proverbs 31 woman works hard for her house, doing things to keep the house up and going. If you wonder why the health condition of our people is so terrible, the reason why literally the physical health of our people is so terrible is because we go to another nation to buy poisonous food all the time. Now we're slowly setting stuff up to transition to that. We're not eating out all the time. So our women can be in the house caring for the house, doing this, planting vineyards, growing our own food, eating our own food. You see what I'm saying? Some of these women, it's like, dude, look, it says, she layeth her hands to the spindle, her hands hold the distaff. I do not know what that is, but when I actually go through this chapter, I would. She stretched out her hand to the poor, yea, she reached forth her hands to the needy. So she's not selfish. She's willing to give. All right? Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. All right? She maketh for linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing. Okay? So we could go all into all this, but you can read it. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongues in the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Again, she ain't sitting up there watching Oprah, getting bad programming, becoming a monster. And I'm telling you, you get a woman, one of the signs, y'all, if you got a woman who ain't busy, they're going to be a monster to you any damn way by default. Satan going to creep right up in their head, Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her, okay? Just like I did. I'm saying, go ahead and do this stuff. And I'm trying to be that righteous husband, and we're both growing in this. We're not saying we're the perfect this, that, and the other, but we've seen the example of this in Straitway. I'm just keeping it 1,000. I haven't seen an example of this, people actually doing this 100. I haven't seen that anywhere else. I've consistently seen it in there, and it's actually pushed for. Like this type of marriage dynamic. Everybody think if you take the time and you do the due diligence and you really listen what Straitway and Pastor Dow's doing, saying, the elders, the sister broadcast, all this stuff that's there, what it's really saying, man, they are so pro-family, it makes no sense. Okay? They are the most pro-family group out there. Okay? I gotta say that because the stuff people want to. Some of the stuff I be getting. Y'all seen that comment I had to respond to? Oh, y'all praise and worship with Esau over there? Some clown shoe. He ain't even a clown. He's the clown shoe. Look in the comment on that one video that dude put in there. He is the shoes on the clown. Look at the dude's name. Dude, he talking about we praise and worship with Esau. I told him, do you read your Bible? I said, do you know who is Uriah the Hittite? They're trying to encourage these people to study. Me and Ron Dalton had like a 3-hour-long show. Open live broadcast. Anybody could come and book us live. And we had Hebrews call in and try to tell us you can't marry a white woman, you can't marry people from other nations. Y'all, we booked it. Had them dudes on there stuttering and tap dancing. They would throw a scripture at us. We'd be like, can you read a verse up? Can you read a verse now? And they just self-daggered themselves. Y'all, I teach on marriage, relationship, this, that, and other, but don't, I got a little bit of biblical understanding too. you know. Oh, I'm just telling all y'all with that Esau doctrine stuff, man, that's so 10 years ago. Like, that junk been daggered. That junk been crushed. So when somebody comes and says that, I know all they did was watch a bunch of GMS videos. And that's it. And that's the extent of their biblical understanding. They didn't even read the Bible for themselves, you know? So anyway, I just had to hit that because it just, some of the clownery I see out there is sad. All right, so let's see. Are you better not have a man in the house? And you better not have a man in the house. What do you mean? I don't understand, Brother Edward. So are we biblically, and I want to say this also, y'all. Go ahead. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, put it in there. I'll answer it. I ain't gonna get mad. I will articulate an answer to your question. All right, Miss Max said, so are we biblically allowed to marry other nations? Yes. Yes. And like I said, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It was me and Ron Dalton on the show, and we literally, a Hebrew group called in. And they were I can hear from their doctrine and the verses they ran to, which we were already prepared. We already knew what they were going to be. We were already prepared for what they were going to run to, okay? And we daggered everything they had with like the war bride thing, where if you conquer another nation and you want to take wives of their women, you do the war bride thing. You shave their heads, this, that, and other. And they went to a verse saying, see, he forbid us from marrying the other nations. And you go in there and you read it in context, okay? And you see that nation that he was telling us not to marry was at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? And you go watch the video, y'all. It's so basic and simple. Because what me and Ron did, we weren't saying and trying to interpolate and force project on the scripture and make the scripture say what we wanted. A lot of the stuff we just said, can you read the verse before it? Can you read the verse after it? And it was just so basic, y'all. And like I said, it was all live, it was unscripted, and we just let the book talk. You see what I'm saying? So you go back and watch that video. I think it was, can you marry other nations, or can you marry white people, or whatever. And at the end of the day, a lot of these people, because when you do a study, oh man, somebody said, what's the name of the video? You gotta have to, you gotta have to search, y'all, because I can't come up with it now. But Ron Dalton was on my show. You just got to look way back on my videos. If I come across it, I'll do another video letting y'all know. But that's can we marry other nations? I think it was, or something. You have to search. What you should do is just go to my YouTube channel and put Ronald in the search, where you can search my YouTube channel. And if you put Ronald in there, you see every video where Ron Dalton came on the show. It's a 3-hour-long show. It's not complicated, y'all. There are a lot of people coming to this Hebrew Israelite thing with hatred and racism because they envy their oppressor, and they've chosen their oppressor's ways. Just like they hated you here, these people mirror that and behave the exact same way. And that ain't book. That is not book. Let me see. So, are we biblically allowed to? Yeah, so, yeah, man. Yes, you can. And see, and this is one last thing I wanted to say. A lot of y'all Master Charlie was probably your grandfather or great grandfather anyway. Like, people don't really know who they are, And then I have to do another show on who the Edomites are, because people really don't know who the Edomites are. A lot of people don't truly know who controlled the slave trade. That's why a lot of Europeans are so pissed at the Jews, because they know they ran the slave trade. Man, you could go all into this thing, man. The average European white person is a puppet, just like all these other nations. There's a nation in power that controls everything. Now you're getting closer to the Edomites. But the thing is, I've lived in Saudi Arabia, in the cities in Saudi Arabia when I was in the Air Force, when I was in the military. And like, when you say Saudi Arabia, there are Arabians that look just like you and me, black dudes. You couldn't tell us apart. Then there's the ruling class, the royal family, the House of Saud. And in their own historic writings, they identify as Esau. They talk about, they know that the Jews over in Israel are Esau and Edomites. And they know the Catholic Church and all that stuff. There's a lot of history that these people need to study, man. These folks is backwards. They just racist as hell, basically. All right, so Ms. Mack said, I learned hatred and bitterness towards the other nations when I joined a camp. Those teachings changed my spirit, but not for the better. I'm going through the process of healing now. All praises. Well, you're in the right spot. Let me say this on what you said. One of the big things people don't understand, man, is about culture and how you live and how you operate, which dictates what nation you are. Okay? Check this out. If I get a dot on my forehead and walk around, and I'm worshiping cows and I'm practicing Hinduism and chakra this and all this weird stuff, who am I? You see what I'm saying? That is the nation that you could call me that, because you see what I'm saying? The main similarities of a nation is not physical appearance, is lifestyle. Is there a bloodline seed of Israel? Absolutely. If you want to know that, you can just watch. Okay, there we go. Thank you. All right. Okay. Sister V's, I appreciate you. She found the video. The title of the video is Interracial Marriage a Sin? With Ron Dalton on Spiritual Combat. So that's all you probably got put in there. Maybe Spiritual Combat, is interracial marriage a sin? Okay? So that's what you need to do. Y'all can get that video. But yeah, man. With these other so yeah, a lot of, there's a lot of projected hate. These people, they don't want to enter into a discussion on this thing, because the scripture is just real basic on this. I mean, like a lot of people say, oh, he brought the gospel to the whole world. That's what happened. That's why you have to go through the letters of Paul. You got to know the Torah, because these other nations were never not allowed to receive this book. I mean, you even got the Pharisees. When Christ is talking to the Pharisees, he says, you go thus far to make a proselyte. Like, it was never not allowed to go to other nations. You see what I'm saying? It's all in the Old Testament where they're dealing with other nations and they coming into the truth and they make provision for them and all this, that, and the other, man. You got to seriously project and twist scripture to fit your racist will to do that. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, me and one of the brothers down here. We went to a brother's house here, not knowing that he didn't let his family know we were coming, and one of the men there almost wanted to fight us, and they threw us off their property because they thought we was like one of these racist camps coming out there to, But one of the women caught up with me and said, wait, So what do y'all, and we started telling them what they believed, and then they were more receptive to it. But yeah, this thing, it's still a lot of racism, y'all. That's the facts. That's basically what it all comes down to. All right, someone said, I was referring to the commenting of the government assistance program. Oh, yeah, they want your man out your house. Okay, I got you, brother. Yeah, Shemuel said he remembers that show I did. So thank you, Sister V's. Appreciate you getting that for me. So y'all check that one out. Interracial marriage, a sin. And you will literally see, we let whoever want to call in. And that's confidence. It's like, hey, we're live. Let's see if you could book it live. Like we with it. We gonna be about this book, because we know how basic it is. We know you got to really project your emotions on the Bible to get it to fit something of that caliber. So it is what it is. Let's see. All right. So let's see. All right. Anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm going to see if y'all got any more questions, comments, concerns. Till I get situated in till we get situated in our new place. I just had an idea of something I'm going to do. So when we get situated in our new place, I might have a different format. I might not, until I get on land and get a set up Spiritualcombat studio. Because eventually, once we get on land, I'm gonna set up a small studio where, because when I get on land, I'm pretty much gonna stop. I'm probably gonna stop doing live streams for the most part, and kind of focus in more on documentary work. And I'm gonna have a little studio where I can do that and have some cinematic broadcast quality, like mainstream quality documentaries and stuff on different topics, So that'll be. So until that time, though, you're not gonna see I don't think you're gonna see the uppity show where I got the green screen. I gotta see though. It all depends. We got a lot of stuff in transition. And we're doing this thing so that it's win-win for everybody. We're being selfless. We're being considerate of our brothers and sisters on how we go about setting things up down here in Straitway, Florida. Somebody said, Brother Michael, abundant blessings. Hope to see you at the Dry Bones Rising Conference next Shabbat. Yes, ma'am, Sister V's. And I just want to put that out there again, y'all. Let me speak on that for a second. Next week, I think it is a Dry Bones Rising Conference on the 4th of July. On that Shabbat, it's going to be here in Jacksonville. We have a new location now. It's right here in Jacksonville. It's inside. It's a very nice venue. Definitely come out. What you need to do is call that number in the video description on this video. Let me make sure it's there real quick before I tell you. Yep, it's there. Call that number. That is the dining hall number. Don't call that number today because it is the Sabbath and everybody, they're not taking no calls or anything. But call, get registered so that you're on the list and we can bring you in. And just get on there and we'll bring you out to the event. The event, I think the new start time is 12. What you need to do is just go back. I got a video with all the new information on there. Updated Dry Bones Rising information, this, that, and other. I did that video. It might be my last video or a video before my last, whatever. Go on there. It will have all the information on there about the event. It's next week. Pastor Dow going to be here. Pastor Corey, Elder Rufus. I'm going to be there, you know. And Pastor Dow is coming down the middle about community building and all that stuff like that, and how it pertains to the Bible and preparing, and truly, he's going to truly show you how to walk this thing out spiritually too, which don't get taught out there, you know. You're going to truly, man, you need to be out there. Big old fat facts. You get a witness, you need to get around and get a witness on true Hebrew Israelites walking this thing out in spirit and in truth, serious about walking this thing out. Come out and meet them. If you in the region, Sister V's is up in Carolina. She in the region. She said she gonna see us out there, our sister. So if you in the area, come out. If you feeling some type of way, it's like me. I saw Straitway. They said, hey, come out and check us out. Hey, do this. Hey, come out and get a witness. Meet people. Meet like serious-minded people, so that we're not just some voice on social media. I call them social mediaites. Social mediaites. Social media brews. Yep, it's here in Jacksonville. It's going to be here in Jacksonville, you know. And let's see. Yeah, it's going to be good. Somebody said the last time I seen you was at the Bible in Black in High Point, North Carolina. I remember that. I can't wait to see all the saints of the Most High from all over. All praises, man. We look forward to seeing you. It's definitely going to be good. We definitely look forward to seeing you. But yeah, go on there, watch that video, man. Y'all get registered. Y'all come on out. It's going to be awesome to see y'all. It's just, man, I thank y'all, man, because he's been answering my prayers. It's like, I see him working, man. It's real. It's real. I'm excited about going to fellowship with my saints today. We're going to our Shabbat fellowship here in about an hour. We got to be up out of here, get on the road, try to. But yeah, man, really looking forward to fellowshipping with the saints. It's been a tough week physically, not so much spiritually, but just been real taxing, you know. But we're good. We feel good. I thank the Most High for putting the people around me, giving me this knowledge of these herbs. It's made a huge difference in my life. And we're going to get after it. And after the Dry Bones Rising Conference, man, I'm going to really pull back the throttles on social media to get my stuff established. I need to rest. I need to get some serious rest and some, you know. So that's probably going to be a week, probably. If I like going hard, I ain't going to lie. And like, I know Koya do too. We got a lot of sleep though last night, man. We went to bed around like 8 or 9. No. We were in bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Slept all the way to like 6, 7 in the morning. Like normally I go to bed at 1 and wake up at 7, you know. Or go to bed at 1 o'clock and wake up at 8 or something. Sometimes you just got to force yourself to get that good rest in. So yeah, man, let me see what else. So yeah, the Dry Bones Rising Conference. Like I said, make sure y'all make a note of that new address. Okay? Make sure y'all look that up. I'm going to promote that heavily this week. I'm going to be pushing that hard, the Dry Bones Rising information. I had a flyer I made last night, and I tried to start sharing it, but then I fell asleep. So, you know. Anyway, let me make sure this thing didn't mess up. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I got Jacksonville. Here we come. All right. So, yeah, man. But, with that said, y'all, I look forward to seeing y'all there. It's going to be an awesome event. And definitely come over and talk to me. Y'all going to find I'm a very talkative person. And, you know, come ready to grow. And with that said, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Michael Israel. Y'all watching Spiritualcombat down here in Straitway, Florida. Shaking heavy, moving hard. And with that said, let me see. With that said, y'all,